Several weeks ago, someone sent me some LaserWriter logic boards that they had started to work on but weren't getting any success on, and I said, of course, yes, I'll take a look. Saturday morning, so I'm going to make a little bit of time and start to go through these. So, got, looks like 3 logic boards here. Let's go ahead and get them out of the bags and see what we got. So, victim number 1. This is a LaserWriter IIg board. The surface mount caps have leaked a little bit. Let's see, can you see how it looks a little bit oily? I don't know if that's coming across on the camera, but it looks oily around the circuit board, which I would expect. These boards come from that time at Apple where they just started using surface mount caps and they start leaking. But it doesn't look too bad. Looks like he's already been in here to replace the big electrolytics. Yeah, gee, this one is really bad. It's honestly, it's easier when the boards are dusty, because you can see a like a goop ring in the dust. So anyway, let's put that one to one side. Victim number 2. This is another LaserWriter IIg board. Again, these 2 caps have been done. Also, leaky surface mounts. Honestly, this one looks like it's leaked a bit less. Hardly at all. Geez, this one is clean enough. I don't even know if I need to wash the board. Looks really good. Alright. And victim number 3. Another LaserWriter IIg board. This one is a bit oily looking. Well, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start to remove the capacitors from these, which means I need my dikes and the replacement capacitors. Okay, wire cutters, replacement capacitors. Put those to one side, and then as before, the way I prefer to do these surface mount caps is chop them. Somebody gave me the tip that, oh, if you cut it in line with the leads, it's a lot easier, and yep, they were right. I'm not paying super attention to, ooh, see that one, that actually broke a little bit, to what cap goes where, because 1, they're all the same, and 2, I've got 2 other boards there, so I can just use one of those as a template.
Just nip all these off. Do we need to pull this? Might need to. Let's do that. Okay, I'll leave that little one separate for now. Now, that's still juicy. You just get rid of all of the lead-ins. Yeah, this is still in good shape.
these were originally glued down. There's just a little dot of glue. Fortunately, the capacitor juice dissolves the glue,
so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, is that all of them? Yep. Okay. Let's give this a clean. Yeah, this one is really not that bad compared to some that I've worked on. And this is honestly going to be the same
methodology I used on mine, where I had a couple of boards and I just recapped them all because the caps are cheap. One of them worked, and that's the one in the printer. And I didn't even bother trying to fix the other one. You know, I took the junky caps off of it, but still has some other problem that I don't know what it was or what it is, and since I had one that was working, I didn't have the motivation to fix it. When you're looking for evidence of leaking capacitors, you can also check like the leads of chips nearby where a capacitor is, and they'll be kind of corroded and yucky looking.
If this board was dirtier, I would be taking this header off and washing it very thoroughly in very hot water. But I'm going to see if I can get away without doing that here, because I'm on a bit of a timetable today, so if I can not do a step, I'm not going to say skip a step, because you do want to be thorough, but if it doesn't need to be cleaned, because there's not much capacitor gunk on it, then it doesn't need to be cleaned, you know? Everything on here honestly looks pretty darn good. Okay, let's get...
Oh man, the tip on this is sad. I have to order a new one. Let's get these little stubbins off. Oh yeah, that's... the fishy smell. I was recently showing someone how to do surface mount caps for the first time, and their comment was, I started to say, and you'll notice a particular smell. I'm like, yeah, it smells like fish. Sure does. Very unique. Or distinctive, I guess, is maybe the better term.
Yeah, all of these are coming off really easy. Sometimes when these are in a more advanced state of decay, you can even have trouble getting a little... You should probably be careful not flipping those onto the dictaphone there. You can have trouble getting the little stubs to lift off. But in this case, they are coming off without too much issue. The pads are all in perfect shape, no problem at all.
I will go over them with a little bit of solder wick here. Just get them nice and clean. Like I said, they all look really good. Jeez, I've been...
Okay. That looks great, no problem. This one.
There's no pad left. Pad is gone. Okay. Where was it? Go right into a via. Let's cheat. Little cat. Okay, the pad comes off, turns 90 degrees, and there's a via right below it. So it goes into this.
There's the trace is still there. Oh, no, I'm wrong. There's still a pad there. It's just, it was covered in gunk. That's good. So, hopefully if we rub it with some wick with flux and some old solder. I need to beat that out. Nope. I don't know if that is still connected. There's also a really crappy looking V right next to it. These can be a real
pain because you want to try and get the corrody solder out, but the corrosion acts like a thermal insulator. Keeps it from melting properly.
Pull in closer so you can see this.
Okay, now you can see this is the pad. There's only half of it there, and these vias are what I was just soldering iron. So let me get my meter. So now I can go on the via and the pad. Pad is still good. Excellent. Okay. Let's see what goodies await in the box.
Like so. Those are sockets for something else. Those are sockets. These are for the ECU in my truck.
And here are the caps for this. Of course the bag tore. Alright.
Now let's be sure I've got all my materials here. Got solder. Iron is good. Board is clean enough. Okay. We've got a pick to help us open the tape. There we go. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna cut the tape. That way, it's not fighting me.
Okay, well, let's start at the end here. I guess I could have just done that to begin with. So I am not the most skilled surface mount rework person. I've purchased a hot air gun. I haven't actually used it yet. The way I prefer to do these, that works for me, is to put just a little bit of solder on the pad, just a little bit. And then I like to tin the leads on the capacitor. And to do that, it's helpful to have a holding fixture. Yeah, that's kind of on camera a little bit. And then I just, again, just a little tiny bit. Then I'll come back and actually solder it on. Normally I would suggest to use forceps to hold this. This one I can actually get at by hand, so that's nice. And because everything is tinned, it will just, oops, it's rotated incorrectly. And yes, you need to go back and forth a couple of times. No, that's not optimal, but it's the current level of skill that I have with this. One thing that is important, you don't want to have any stress on those pads as they sit there, because it can lead to cracks over time. So I'm going to pull in tighter here. Okay. This is hard with the kind of... Okay, you can see what I'm doing. So, clean my iron. Just a tiny little bit of solder on the board. Then I'm going to kind of show you on this. Actually, no, I won't. See, the problem is surface tension will make the capacitor stick to the iron. So when you tin the lead a little bit, then you'll find that the cap is stuck to the iron, and now you're overheating it, and then you try and break it free, so you fling it and then it goes flying, and so don't do that. And it doesn't take a whole ton of solder on these. You need enough, for sure, but you don't need a ton. You still can't see what I'm doing here. There. The base plastic thing on the capacitor has angles on it, little cutouts that match the shape on the silk screening, so that helps you get it correct. And if you notice, I'm using a fairly blunt screwdriver tip on my iron. You don't have to have like an alt. And I mean, maybe if you were doing like one of these QFPs, you need a very fine iron. But for the capacitors like this, where you've got pretty decent access, it's not that big of a deal. Well, in that it's not super fine. You know, if I was trying to work on one of these, Jesus, I'd certainly want a microscope or something, you know. Go ahead and do this one too. And of course, as you're doing this, you want to be mindful of the you know, the direction your iron is facing, because while you're focused on just the very end of it, the whole thing is hot. So you could be melting something. Yes, I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just tinning the rest of the pads. And then the little one. This one might be... Wow, it actually, now that I look at it up close, it pulled some of the actual circuit board off. Yikes. Hopefully we can get that one to stick properly. Okay. Let's see here. We're just going to put that in frame a little bit. And just the friction of the handles of these channel locks on the bench is enough to hold it. Again, you're not putting a whole ton of force on it. You shouldn't be. Just want to get it so that you're trying to get solder to stick to solder instead of having it try and actually wet the metal for the first time. It makes it a lot easier, I think. Now, if I was doing this as my day job, would this be the way I do it? Most likely not, because it is more time consuming. But when you're kind of getting started, my advice is it's okay to take a little bit longer on each step. Your time is not the thing you're repairing is more valuable than your time, if that makes sense. So take your time. You know, there's nothing saying you can't take a little bit more time. You don't have to be ultra fast and try and whip it out in one step. Break each task up into as small pieces as you can, and then each piece is a little easier. So instead of trying to have it, you know, tin and center and do everything all at once, as I put these on, I just break it up into individual steps. That's okay. There's a little bit of solder on my iron still, but not a ton. Very happy with that. I'm going to add just a little bit of new solder on my iron, and that will, the wicking action will draw the any, draw the solder from the iron up into the joint.
As needed. I had a little bit too much solder on the bottom of that, on one of the leads. It had a little point, which made it not want to sit very well. A little kicked point on it. I actually think I want to add just a little more solder on this one side, which we can do. You can always add just a little more. There we go. Okay. Now, got these ones to do back in here. This one's going to be a right pain in the butt. Let's see if I can do this by hand. Ooh, no, I'm going to need pliers. That's a pliers job. Hold on a moment.
It's a little bit rotated, but it'll be okay. Then we have the small one. Where's my other tape? Here it is. Okay. Put this on beeper.
Okay, well. That all seems okay. Oh, I bet on a lot of these I can check the positive rail too. I think some of these would all be connected together. Are you... Yeah? Okay.
Well, let's go try it in the machine. So the LaserWriter logic board is easy to remove, fortunately. There's mine. Take that, set it out of the way. Here's the one that I just worked on. Plug it in. Okay. I'm not going to screw it in. Now, let's see what we get. I gotta look that up. 1, 2, and 4. But there was at least some signs of life. Just for giggles. Oh, well this has this last sim is a parity sim. It's got 9 chips. That's not going to work. Let's try it with just
Bank 1. Actually, no, we wanted in bank 0.
yeah. So that might have been a memory error. I should have looked at the service manual before I started, but I didn't. Okay, bank 0 is populated with the unknown memory that was on the board when I got it. Let's try that. No. Same thing. Oh, wait. Oh, well, wait. Hey! Warming up. What is its name? Michael's LaserWriter IIg. Cool. That one is working.